So, Rich, who is Ilya Shapiro?
So he's been a scholar at the Cato Institute, focusing on the Constitution and legal issues. Classic libertarian, very into the Constitution. I don't know a lot about his policy positions, but very market oriented. Probably, like most Cato people are, kind of favorable to more open borders approach on immigration. So he's not like a classic hater, Mm-hmm. Or anyone, some populist firebrand. Sometimes you wonder, well, what's going on? Why are they so angry about something? He's not one of those types. And he tweeted after Biden said, well, he's going to replace Stephen Breyer with a Black woman necessarily, no matter who else is out there. And there's an Indian American judge in the DC circuit that he thinks is the best qualified progressive judge. He's like, choose him. Don't choose a lesser Black woman. Now, that phrase makes you cringe. It makes you wince. It's not really what he meant to communicate. He just was meaning to say anyone would be lesser, not as qualified as this brilliant DC circuit judge. And he deleted it and he apologized. And he's been accepted for a job at Georgetown Law School as an executive director of a center there. And the dean immediately denounced him. There immediately calls for him to be fired over this. He's been hired. He was hired officially as of this Tuesday, but they immediately suspended him and are investigating whether his tweet violated their rules. But I mean, there's nothing to investigate. It was a bad tweet, poorly worded. Any person of good faith knows what he meant. It wasn't a racist position. If he was a racist, he wouldn't be promoting an Indian American Hindu to make history on the court. He was just wanted to apply a standard of let's look at just at merits and excellence as a jurist. And the Georgetown continues to come down like a ton of bricks on him. The students are upset. They're asking for cry rooms and reparations and all the rest of it, and braying for his head. And it remains to be seen whether Georgetown will fire him or not.
The Black Law Students Association at Georgetown Law demanding that he be fired. They wrote in a January 28th letter to the Georgetown Law Administration, I'm quoting in part, we, this group, write on behalf of the Georgetown University Law Center student body to demand the revocation of Ilya Shapiro's employment contract and to condemn his racist tweets. At Georgetown Law, Black students are haunted by the shadow of imposter syndrome. Shapiro reinforced this phenomenon by reducing Black women's accomplishments to small favors from heaven. Shapiro's tweets and apparent prejudice have no place at our university. The revocation of his employment is more than appropriate. And then, I guess yesterday, there's video of a meeting amongst students meant to discuss Ilya Shapiro's alleged racism. And there was a demand, as you just point out, for reparations to the students just for having to sit through the meeting. Here is a soundbite.
In terms of coming back to this reparation thing, because like this is great, but we have to do so much work to catch up for all this stuff that we missed. All I'm saying is I don't know if it's a couple dinners or lunches or something, but that would help us because I can't go home for lunch now because I need to study. I have to make up for this class that I lost. So it's little things like that. It doesn't have to be something that takes a year to figure out. It's like we know our Black students or whatever group is hurting, and we're going to give them things today, whether it's snacks, whether it's counseling, whether it's whatever. But a part of that trust is to see an immediate reaction to what we are saying. But food will be great.
We have food on the way.
Oh, good.
Oh, my God. My God. First of all, thank you, because we got this from National Review's reporting. Second of all, naps and food as reparations for having to express their grievances at Ilya? What?
Yeah, so I don't know anything about this dean, but maybe he's a bad guy. Maybe he's just a coward. But these people like him have invested a lot in their career, and they know once you get in a situation like this and meetings like this, you can't possibly say the wrong thing because then you'll be in the firing line next, and you'll be destroyed. But the right thing to do is just say no. You're an adult. We're all adults here. We favor open speech. If you're upset about it, talk to him about it, write a letter to the newspaper, express yourself in class, whatever. But we're not going to fire someone over this. And most people don't have this kind of intestinal fortitude. But I remember meeting with Thomas Sowell, And, the great conservative Stanford economist, African-American, of course, and he dealt with, like, no kidding, racial discrimination in the course of his life. He's in his 80s now. And his attitude always was, if you're looking down on me because I'm Black, F you, too bad for you. It doesn't affect me. I'm not, I don't need naps. I don't need to cry because you're an idiot and an ignoramus. And that kind of, that sort of attitude is on the wane, obviously, in this country. And instead you have this kind of childishness that's encouraged, and people expect to get coddled.
So it wasn't just this moment. You mentioned the other where apparently they're in tears. The students are in tears at Georgetown. I mean, honestly, having practiced law for 10 years, they need to toughen up. They need to toughen. I mean, obviously, I haven't been the victim of racism in that way, but I certainly have been the victim of sexism. And they're going to see a whole lot more of it when they get out there as lawyers. They're going to see even way worse things than sexism and racism. And you got to toughen up. You got to function in the face of adversity, even dark adversity. I mean, bad things happen to very innocent clients, and you're the one who has to advocate for them, and you don't get a cry room. Here's soundbite 2.
It is really, really hard to walk out of class or a meeting in tears, and you should always have a place on campus where you can go and feel like you're not then also under people's eyes and observation. Maybe you don't want to answer a question of what's going on or what's wrong. And if you're finding that you're not getting the person you want to talk to or not getting a space that you need, reach out to me anytime, and we will find you space.
Oh my Lord, Rich, I can't.
Space is one of those words also. I hate the word space. I never would have thought I hated the word space.
I'm sure the judges are going to give them cry spaces too.
What's that?
I'm sure the judges they appear before are going to give them cry spaces too.
Yeah, lawyering's all about space. Yeah, I mean, it's indulging childishness, and this is the way you speak to first graders. And there was what is the school? Did you see this earlier this week, Megyn? Someone took a picture of the sign. I think maybe at University of Boulder or something, that if you or someone you know encounters free speech that upsets you, here are your recourses. And they're like 17 numbers and 17 offices you could call because you're upset you heard something you disagree with.
How can I get my number on that list? I need my number to be on there.